Yo, what's going on? So this is actually number 2, the first recording. I don't know, OBS kind of just messed up my audio for some reason. It sounded like a robot. So doing this again. Let's go over. We already actually went over the best team build, units to bring, pros and cons, different options. We went over all these things in a different video. So if you've not seen that, go to the how-to video. Here we'll just discuss the run and how it goes. So this Goku here, the STR1, obviously he should be the least of a threat, but what works out nicely is Reps have a couple people that can lower attack. So we can lower his attack with everyone on the rotation, so even if we did get supered, it would be very little. Now, I like to maintain the rotation as long as possible. It really only gets broken up if 17 can avoid being supered, or if 17's damage reduction is not active. I like to maintain the rotation of 17 and Frieza. Now, no, they don't link up well, but Frieza needs 3 ki to super attack. 17 gives 3 ki and 60% defense. So he gives Frieza a very high pedestal to start out on, right? So he starts out with supering, and he will have a 60% buff. So that will some kind of give Frieza a higher defensive stat than normal, but it works out. The only thing you have to be careful of is keeping in mind that's not what his actual defense is, because it will drop off once you take 17 off, which is going to happen. These 17 will do well in most fights. The only time he really struggles is going to be in the ape fight. The ape fight is just fucking ridiculous. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. I am working while recording this. So, in between me, like, talking to customers and stuff is where, you know, I'm playing this, so that's why there's some gaps. There isn't many. I think that actually might be the only gap that I have. Also, small update just on the channel and me in general. I am quitting my job very soon. Very excited. Can't wait. And then I'm going back to the active duty Marine Corps, so we'll be doing that very soon. I am actually already in. I've sweared in and signed and done it again. If you haven't ever new here, if you don't know, I've done this before, right? I joined the Marines back in 2012, but going back in now, so very excited. Can't wait to leave here and get stationed. Hopefully West Coast will be great. Yeah, me and my wife plan to move out there. So yeah, that is that. But anyway, back to this. Goku and Frieza here, they're not bad. They're very okay. Like, look, even with the super attack, they get hit for like 70k, 100k. Now, 1, they are 55%. 2, they are getting the defensive support from 17. So they definitely could have taken a lot more, but I'd say with dupes, because most people have them, you know, with dupes, they could take a lot less. Now, they do have to super attack, keep in mind. If you have a turn where, you know, he's not supering, he's going to take a lot of damage. You have to remember that. Now, I do start to push Kaioken off, because next is the AGL phase, and he gets whacked. Now, I did try multiple times where I would force Kaioken into building up, and I'd put him in front of attacks and stuff, and he just gets hit too hard, is the problem. Especially in this AGL phase, which is very early on in the fight. So, it just didn't work out, right? I constantly find myself, like, at 1 HP here. And it's like, well, what am I doing? Pop an item? I can't pop an item this early. The run's dead. So, this is what I was talking about where... Oh, no. Yeah, so they don't super at the end, but they're not getting hit, so it's okay. So Frieza continuously stacking his defense, getting his 30% chance to dodge, which feels way higher. My Frieza is 79%. My Frieza is full link level 10. A unit I use a ton of times. In long events, short events, no item runs, like you name it, I have brought him on it. He is that good. And we get the crit, not bad. I am trying to definitely get through this phase as fast as possible. No interest in being here. So 17 still doesn't have his damage reduction active, so he's gonna get hit a little hard there at the end. Blue Boy is able to get 1 orb, which is not bad, so they're able to get that 1 extra additional and a little crit chance. And I'm and dodges. Small thing about UI, when UI dodges, if you pay attention to his key meter or his attack stat, either one, it will rise. When he dodges and you see his key meter and attack stat go up, that means he is not fully built up yet. And you can expect him to keep building up to get more attack, more defense, all that. If you see him dodge and his attack stat, his key meter, it does not change, then clearly you know he is fully built up. It's a very easy way to tell if he's built up or not. And I just realized this, you probably could do something very similar to Frieza, because after 5 turns, Frieza, loses his attack buff. But I just realized, yeah, if you looked at his attack stat, you could probably tell when he doesn't have it active. So this is a very important turn here. We are below 59%. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken now has the bottom portion of his passive active, right? The extra attack, super effective against all types, yada yada yada. Now, I always wondered, and now I can confirm this. If Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken on this turn does not attack, it doesn't activate the portion of his passive. It would only count as an attack if he does a super attack, if he does a normal attack, or if he launched a Spirit Bomb. That will count for that only once part of his passive. Now, we are going to see this come back later on, where he gets the active skill possibly again, and then we don't use it, but he supers, and he becomes super effective against all types, even though he wouldn't have been normally. So that will come up later. So I can't believe this is the winning run. Wow. We got supered with 17 for 250k, and then we didn't dodge that super attack for another 100k. Whew. This is by far just luck, though. Like, the bad luck occurred here, so the good luck would occur later. That's all I could say. So Goku at a basically 5.7, almost 6 million attack stat. I think we get a crit here, right? We like almost take him out. Yeah, we get some real good damage. Yep, there's the crit. Almost one shots. So that is quite nicely. And then Blue Boys, they don't have a high attack stat here. We didn't get them a ton of orbs, but they don't need it. Goku's very low, so we're fine. Alright, and then we go into one of the most annoying fights here. Now, 17 did get supered, right? So his defense is lowered. So this is a very dangerous turn. His defense is lowered, and he doesn't have his damage reduction active. And he is type disadvantage, and this ape is a douchebag, and this ape one-shots you. So this is a terrifying turn. What I do is I have to pop an item, especially because I also have the Goku and Frieza unit. There's like, I see almost no chance I'm coming out of this, well, so I do pop, I believe, a Whis. Yep, pop that Whis. If you pop an item at any time before this fight, I'd say you should just redo the run. If you pop an item here, it's not best. It is not best, but it is clearly doable depending on how the int fight goes. The int fight 10 is probably your best fight because you have a couple of Fizz units that can tank very well, but if the wrong person, like if this Goku and Frieza get supered in the int fight, you're dead. It doesn't matter. So they take 170k. Now keep in mind his defense reduction, his damage reduction 17 comes from start of turn, so even though now we're below, we still don't have an active, so he still takes 80k. Now here we go. This is actually what I was talking about. So UI gets a pretty good stat there. We give him that. Now ironically, the Blue Boys tank better because they're raising their defense and stuff than Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, so I put them at the end. I think it's supered, I'm dead, but he'll still tank better. So 6.2 from UI. I think he's fully built up. I don't see any attack stats really much higher than that, which is insane. So we get the crit 2, which is very nice, and then here we go, 2.6. Now this ends up being, watch, super effective against all types, meaning the bottom portion of his passive is active. That up arrow means super effective against all types. So that confirms what I said earlier and what I said in my other video. So how does that help you? Probably doesn't. If you are able to, not like right, there was no way I could have possibly killed the ape here. But if possible, if you could not get that to activate and you could make that activate at the very end while dropping the Spirit Bomb, that Spirit Bomb could possibly one-shot. If you got all of that active, it could possibly one-shot. Another thing here, I am very hard on him, Kaioken, but I do need to, I realized this when I was watching this back. He isn't fully built up. He's actually not close. If you've seen, he does not get hit, like, at all. I protect him hardcore. But you kind of have to, because he gets hit too hard, right? So it's like he's a backwards unit. He's not a defensive unit, but he requires to be hit. What the hell does that mean? So, yeah. I get some extra damage there, and then 100 fucking K. I should have put the friend one there, because he's higher. I think he's 2 dupes. Mine's 55%. Still though, 100k, it would have been, what, 90k. Do get some extra damage there with the crits very nicely. We get lucky with the attack placements here, where I don't need to super attack. I mean, I don't need to pop an item here. I can save it, at least for the next turn. No, not many same type orbs, unfortunately. So we're not going to get any healing or really moving the Dokkan meter much. So at this point, I do need to start pushing that Dokkan meter. I need to just shove it as fastly as possible, because it's very low. And then we are going to run out of items very quickly. So this fight could be the easiest fight. All RNG. So there is only, what, 1 attack at the end. I mean, if there was no attacks at the end, that'd be even better, but obviously we don't have that. This is the cut, but I'm going to swipe right over. Nothing changes, still turn 13. Same exact rotation, same orbs, nothing changed. The reason that happens is I'm working, and let's say I get wrapped up into something that I have to give my full attention to. I will stop the recording and save it, and then I'll lock my phone, and when I come back, like, I don't know what the timestamp difference was, it was probably like an hour or something. When I come back, I'll restart the recording, and then you could see clearly that nothing changed, right? So I transform Frieza right away. His defense is high enough. He also does get damage reduction. He gets 50% damage reduction if your health is below 50%. And I want to say, from this point on, I'd say most of the time my health is below 50%. I'd say, on average, my health is below 50%. So, that is acceptable. Now, we do still have a lot of items, which is great. So I go for the heal here. Now, I would say the Nader is better than the Princess Snake, because the fight just takes so long. You're almost always going to need to be worried about the next rotation. The Princess Snake, while it gives you the damage reduction here, I can just get lucky, and that's what you need. If you get lucky with where that super attack placement is, if he supers Frieza, we take double digits, right? I don't need that. And only 1 attack at the end, so we do get lucky, yeah. So he does super Frieza here, watch, double digits. Frieza fucking brushes that shit off. Blue boys, they're gonna be okay defensively, and then the Goku and Frieza, they're still gonna get hit hard, of course, but it's the next rotation that is also in danger too. It's not just here. So I would say and also the Princess Snake only does a 50% heal or something like that, so you don't get full health. So let's say I use the Princess Snake there, I would have taken less damage there, sure, but now my health would not nearly be as high, and I'd have nothing. I'd have no support here. Instead, I do have a 50% buff to my defense for the rotation, which is going to help out. Oh yeah, there is a lot of attacks at the end there. I do this? Whoa. Wow, I really got lucky, huh? I risked it for the biscuit that I put Goku and Frieza in front of all of those attacks. So this, at this point, right, you can see we are just not doing damage. It is very difficult to do damage if you don't crit. Even with type advantage, we still do very little. So he's actually still building up. So I would say that definitely is going to make a big difference for the Spirit Bomb. But I want to also say, if you start putting him in front of attacks, you are going to very quickly see that he is not meant to be hit. And now, you're just going to have to use more items earlier on. So I would say whether or not he gets fully built up is probably going to be more RNG. You'd have to take more advantage of the earlier fights, of the Fizz fights. And again, you'd have to get lucky in those Fizz fights. Like, let's say there's like 12 attacks in the first slot. You can take that, right? Because then, you know, but if he gets supered, if the Super Saiyan 3 Fizz Goku supers that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, you're going to take too much damage because he lowers defense. So I'm able to get a good gnarly heal from Frieza there, which is quite nice. There is a rainbow and 4 orb right there, so we can take that. And here we go. This is a solid rotation. Now I'm pushing the blue boys off because we've already said I do like to keep Frieza and 17 together because he gives them the extra Ki and the extra defense. And then Blue Kaioken, I mean the LR blue boys, they're gonna go over because I want them on rotation with UI because they're solid together. And I'm not gonna keep, obviously, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken on rotation because he's terrible. But then what happens is I could possibly get the rotation where I get the Spirit Bomb and both LRs. So those LRs are my damage dealers, right? It's very clear they are the ones to deal the most damage for the next fight. So we also get lucky, I'd say, in this fight that there really isn't many dodges. He doesn't avoid my attacks often. So that's quite lucky because I've had lots of times where he dodges my 7-8 million attack stats and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's just pure anger. No double super, but hey, I promise this, like, it literally all works out perfectly. This is one of the reasons I win. Right here. This is it. So, Goku in the first slot. There is a lot of attacks in that first slot. Goku... Watch UI. He can't touch me! Oh, yeah. This is where he looks like he's the best unit, man. He is at a 50% chance to dodge, keep in mind. Though that ain't gonna happen commonly, and don't be upset if it doesn't get to you. This is another reason we win. So we have our damage reduction active on both parts. And there's no attack in the last slot. Goku and Frieza don't have to get hit. So I was at 170k HP. Now I know I questioned multiple times if I made the right move to heal there, if it was a waste. Yes, I did. So what's going to happen is we're going to get supered. Frieza's not the one that's going to get supered. Now, if Frieza got supered, he takes double digits. We're fine. It doesn't matter. It's 17 that got supered. Now watch how fucking ridiculous this is. How hard he just gets hit. With his own damage reduction active, and we gave ourselves the 50% boost to defense. He gets hit quite hard, and I actually would have died. So that is actually... It was the perfect play that needed to be done. I was at 177 HP. And we took 274. So we would have died. I guess the only perfect play would have been I could have put Frieza in slot 2, but that is complete RNG. I have no idea where the super attack's going to be. Is what it is. So, no, look at this health, right? All those attacks, like, we got nothing. But we have this godly rotation. This is where Kaioken is, like, I guess his value is here. I popped the Whis because we're going to take a ton of damage just everywhere. So we dropped the Spirit Bomb. Now, we're going to say he was not on rotation a lot. He didn't stack up a lot. And his bottom portion of the passive already activated. We did like a bar of health. I've seen him take a lot more damage, but we are not fully built up, so I will give him that credit, I guess. But at the moment of doing this, I didn't realize all of that. I just thought this fucking guy sucks. So, no, we could have output a lot more damage. But again, I promise I've made this attempt 100 times where I put him in front of attacks and I am just way too low with health too early, and I'm forced into using items, or I don't use the items and I just die. Goku now gets the 30% buff. He's at 8 million attack stat. So, again, doesn't matter. I need a crit. And see that? Bam, look at his health dropping. We need crits. If you don't get crits, you don't do damage. This Goku's defense is too damn high. Look. That was a 6 million attack stat. I can't even tell if his health moved or not. We do get the double super, but again, dude, they don't fucking crit. They crit on the normal attack, but they don't crit on the super attack. So, whatever. Bad luck. Like, we didn't even take out the rest of his health bar. He only had half left. His defense is too high. So Kaioken here, you know, I need the crit. I think he does get the crit. Yeah, he's a 69%, right? So I think he's mostly additional with a 3 dodge, so he doesn't have, you know, really high numbers there. Very lucky on this attack placement. So 17's damage reduction is active, and there's no attack hitting Goku and Frieza in the middle, which is amazing. They take too much damage, so very lucky there. Now I am very close. I'm getting the Dokkan attack next turn. I don't think it's... Yeah, no. So we already know that 17 would take 270k it was from a super attack. We have 300k health, so we're fine. We also popped a Whis, so that is still in effect. So I know we can't die, right? So we're getting the Dokkan attack next turn. And this is where I love Frieza, because Frieza, while he doesn't do the biggest damage, it adds up, man. It adds up because he double supers constantly. I love it. So no super attack in the front, but that's okay. Because we have the Whis active, 17 is going to do fine in the end. We're going to get a nice number. Wait till you see. Ooh, look at that motherfucker. That's why you bring 17. 50k with a Whis active. There are people that have a Whis active and die. He is fucking amazing. So we get the Dokkan attack here, and now the RNG is upon us. Can we not get supered? Because there is a good chance we don't. We just got supered 3 seconds ago, so the odds of him supering are low. We don't have an item active. This is pure defense that we are surviving on. So 12k is very acceptable. We get the Dokkan attack. So, bam, 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 and then we send it. Now we're getting, what is it, 6 million? You have to crit. If you don't crit, you don't do damage. I don't know how many times I have to say this. If you don't crit, you don't do damage. I promise you. It's scary. We don't crit. So, he is one shot. Now, if we crit, he's clearly dead. But now I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get supered. Very luckily, we don't. Blue Boys can finish it out here. But I was like, oh no, he didn't crit. Like, I'm gonna fucking cry if I get supered and I die right now. Dodge just canceled. You know, we're taking decent from a normal, but a super attack, I'm pretty sure would kill this. That is the run. Reps of 7 done. All missions done. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in that next video. And let me know if you have completed this. What team did you use? If you haven't completed this, how much do you hate this mission? Because this mission fucking sucks. And don't worry about it. You'll complete it after the anniversary for sure. Love you all. Peace.